All right, folks, we are here live. It is time once again here from Clay headquarters, and it's been a while, but I do appreciate you all tuning in. Clayton Hester here, broadcasting from the studio. How are you all? How are you all? It's been a while. It really has, and it's regrettable, but sometimes life gets away from you, and you got to reprioritize, restack some of those different items into the overall stack of items as they do. And so we're going to take a look quickly at the headlines today because I gotta be on my way. But we will be examining a few things, taking a look at some of the latest of creativity news, what the Spark is all about, what Clay is all about, as well as our podcasts. And the podcasts have really become something of the biggest priority for me right now because I think that there's such an opportunity right now to develop a real library of good information, of big ideas, of history. Because history is just this wonderful place where we can go to re-engage our sense of novelty and big ideas. There's this, and I wasn't able to develop it today, but I've been reading about Athanasius Kircher, right? He was a Jesuit priest, 17th century, a real polymath. They called him the last man to know everything, because they kind of stopped knowing everything whenever there are just too many books to read. You couldn't read all the books. You couldn't be caught up on everything. And one of his real secrets was that he was a phenomenal networker within the Jesuit order. The Jesuits were traveling the world. They were bringing back all forms of knowledge because, of course, these societies, these Roman Catholic societies were spent a lot of time learning, spent a lot of time in study, and so they were developing all of these bodies of knowledge, and so he was able to benefit from that, bringing back studies from China and the Far East, and he studied that and studied all the things that they were able to bring back, all of these different items, and so he had some interesting, strange theories that weren't particularly true, but I believe that he had a theory about Atlantis, which is always interesting. I love a good Atlantis theory. We don't have enough people with Atlantis theories anymore, really, which is a shame because who knows? Who knows? Anyway, here's the thing of it is that it's always developing. History is developing, just like all other knowledge bodies, and so the podcasts are an opportunity for us to dig into that novelty. And I'm sure soon enough we will be able to dig into the more of the ideas of Athanasius Kircher. But he had a lot of interesting things: combinatorial music, a metaphor machine, which was meant to replicate these metaphors based on any given idea of a person, and there's just a whole lot to dig into with Kircher, and I look forward to doing so, and the podcasts give me a chance to learn, so I hope you'll check those out. They're over on the main website right now. You can check them all out on the main website, clay.inc, clay.inc. You can check out all of our shows there, and we hope you will. But today's headlines: scientists are reconstructing music from people's brains. So researchers at the University of California, Berkeley have used brainwave recordings to reconstruct a Pink Floyd song. And this really gives us a better idea of how music's working with the brain, what it's doing on the brain. They were originally really studying epileptic patients, studying people with these implanted electrodes and monitoring their brain activity, addressing seizures. And with machine learning, they were able to identify these sounds in correspondence with what was going on in the brain, and to detect these brainwave patterns that were connected to piano keys reading music. And so it's fascinating thing. Music in the brain. It is a fascinating piece of science that is going to be a lot to dig into in the future, a lot more to see. Development heck, as we'll call it for our PG or G rating for our newsletter is The Last Voyage of the Demeter is a tale of Dracula, which is a really interesting one. And my understanding it is that it's basically, alien, but it's Dracula, of course, trapped on board with this monster, right? That's going to kill you all. And so, so that's Dracula on the Demeter. It's based on this specific part of the story of Dracula, but the story doesn't, within Dracula doesn't take the POV of our friends on the Demeter. And so this is a really interesting opportunity to do so. A fight for your life type of thing with this really, and it was interesting, they mentioned in the story that they wanted to depict Dracula as very feral, not like our friend Bela Lugosi, this sophisticated, gentlemanly Dracula. No, this guy's like on crack. That is the Dracula you see there. Forgetting may be a necessary part of learning. Just to mention the Dracula thing. The reason we bring it up is it's a story of development, a process, how long it can take to really get things done. Development heck is the word for it, and it spent a lot of time there. That's where Dracula was for several years in this new Demeter movie. But it eventually made it through, and now we get to see how it goes. You get to see where the script ends up. Forgetting may be a necessary part of learning, according to neuroscientists, and that is as less relevant memories erode, then your brain can be more flexible with the information it does have, which is always nice, right? So that's good news. And so everyday forgetting is perhaps a beneficial process to the learning process. And so biogas, right? This may be the next big thing when it comes to renewable energy. That's at least what the Grist is telling us. It's the trade associations, fuel producers, and bipartisan lawmakers advocating for biogas. This is becoming a bigger deal. Federal credits are going towards them to help make them power EVs. And so we're looking forward to that as far as, or at least we should say, looking forward to see how this develops, what the future is for electric vehicles, of course, as the stories continue about, deserts of sorts, electric vehicle deserts, not having enough of those energy sources, not having enough of those power sources to make it a real option for different people. So switching to electric, hopefully finding different ways to become more efficient and successful. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate your time. Hope you'll tune in again to the Bulletin. And until next time, check out our podcast. You'll check out this one in podcast form too, over with the rest of our shows at clay.inc. Thanks again, everybody.